I started making videos in 2019 to keep myself accountable from watching dirty websites. I felt that if I could keep a video log of my progress and my goals and what I want, it can keep me and motivate me from going back into my vomit, going back into my sin, going back into watching those dirty websites. I made 3 videos in, and I stopped making videos for a year. My first video was January 2022. I stopped making videos for about a year because I fell back into my vomit. I fell back into my lust, dirty websites, sexual pleasures, marijuana. I wasn't good at keeping myself accountable. I came back, and I've been going strong ever since. There'd be periods where I wouldn't really make a video, but I've been very consistent as of late. But that was what I felt like I had to do to keep myself accountable from being my own enemy. A lot of y'all don't understand accountability in any metric, but you know how to keep others accountable. But when it comes to yourself, you fault, you lack. You don't see that it's necessary, yet you still struggle. If you're struggling with something and you just feel like it's such a weight on you, you can't get it off your chest, you can't get it out of your spirit, then you're really operating in the spirit of pride, adultery. You're putting things above God. And by doing that, there's no way that you can also keep yourself accountable. Because if you were, you wouldn't be doing it. Simple as that. You need to figure out ways that you can keep yourself accountable to keep yourself from your sin and your lust. You don't want to perish in your sin over things that you simply could have controlled. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple. Maybe you have to write sticky notes on your window, reminding yourself of your goals, what you want out of this life. Maybe you should write poetry. Maybe not even poetic. Just write. Write down how you feel. Write down your deepest, darkest regrets, the pits of despair that your shame has put you through from watching those dirty websites. And this can work about any addiction that you're stuck to. But this video is focused more so on those dirty websites because I know that people in this world, especially in Babylon, man, all over the globe, are struggling and suffering with it. And it's immoral, but we've been conditioned to think these things are normal. And we've also been conditioned to not keep ourselves accountable for just doing things that aren't good, which are in fact to our detriment in the society, right? There's nothing positive that comes out of watching dirty websites. And you have to keep yourself accountable. Maybe you need to get rid of your computer. Maybe you need a flip phone. I made a video Sunday saying some of y'all need flip phones for real. Some of y'all need flip phones. It's fairly simple, but we often just make it hard. You're gonna feel silly doing some things. You're gonna feel like, why do I have to do the most? You may not want to accept that you have to do that much just to stop yourself. Because deep down, you don't want to admit that it's as bad as you think it is. But it is. And most people are suffering with the same things that you're suffering with as well. Don't let the fact that people don't talk about it make you feel like it's any less real, because it is very real. People tend not to talk about the things that truly are on their heart. People tend not to talk about the things that truly weigh them down. People tend not to talk about the things that put them in the light, that may not make them seem like the victor, that may not make them seem oh so great. People tend to do these things. And what type of person are you? Don't let people make you feel like you're crazy for going through what you're going through. Yes, it is crazy. I'll be honest. But most of us are crazy. You're not that different than others. We have to search for ways that can keep ourselves accountable to where we don't have to go back into our sin. Write it on your mirror. Sticky notes. Write it on your computer screen. Make your wallpaper, do not watch so-and-so. But you also have to be careful, because the more you focus on and think about it, the more you might be susceptible to doing it. I would just write down your goals. And also, maybe you should write down how much time you've wasted. If you've wasted 3 years away from your grind just to satisfy your pleasures, in those 3 years you've been in a funk it's been so hard to get out of, write down 3 years on your wallpaper. You know what that means, right? If someone happens to see your phone because they're being nosy, snooping, they don't know what 3 years means. They ask you, don't worry about it, bro, it's personal stuff. Okay. You know? There's different ways that you can keep yourself accountable, but you have to keep yourself accountable, as you can't grow. I've grown a lot. But I've also been the person that had to be accountable as far back as I can remember, you know? I never had the luxury of doing the things that other people would do and being successful at it. I had to get things out the mud. I had to be humbled. I couldn't get my flowers first. It takes a lot of accountability to look at yourself and understand that you have to self-improve. I'm in the gym consistently, Monday through Friday, sometimes Monday through Saturday. I'm so used to staying in that regimen and the routine, as I touched on yesterday, that I often forget that I'm being accountable every day. I'm understanding that there's things that I must work on, because I'm not good enough yet. I'm not where I want to be at yet. You may not look at it as accountability, but that's accountability. If I'm focused with that state of mind consistently, how could I sell myself short to sinful lust? I'd have to create time. I'd have to pivot away from what matters for me to do those things. And I can't afford that. That's being accountable. Write things down. I started making YouTube videos just to keep myself accountable from watching those dirty websites. I remember it worked for like a day. And then I fell short, you know? But overall, we're all trying to figure this out day in, day out, you know? But you have to keep yourself accountable so you can become successful. There's no other way. You're not going to find accountable. You're not going to find a successful person who doesn't keep themselves accountable in some aspect. Maybe not all things, but certain aspects of their life, they had to keep themselves accountable. And accountability is what has saved me and is what is saving me. I know it can save y'all too, you feel me? Shalom.